God started revealing this revelation, I had to upgrade the title. It's going to be trading faith. It's going to take you trading where you put your faith. And what we have to do, which is a very scary thing for people, is trade it for the presence of what God wants to do in our life.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If it is your first time here, my name is Izzy darling. So glad to have you here. If it is your first time here, you are going to love it. So already, Jay, just stick to the program, click that like button, click that subscribe button, because trust me honey, you will not want to leave. I am so happy to be vlogging once again. You guys can hear from the sound of my voice, Wootsy, the girl has not been 100% herself. Like, I've just been a bit funny-ish because of flu, of course. Just cleaning out my beauty space, and today I'm starting my life in my 30s chit chat, get ready with me or sit down edition that I've been promising you guys, right? And I'm just gonna be doing an install because this week I have a few clients and I do want to look like a beauty queen. I do want to look like the beauty queen that I am. Of course, I need to always be the business. But anyway, before we get right into that, do the right thing and subscribe, honey, subscribe. So I'm just gonna be laying my wig, guys. Nothing much, nothing new. But today I really just wanted to talk about my career path or your career. I really just wanted to talk about, having a career in your 30s and just how much we are all so focused on building in our 30s. Because obviously our 20s are just mostly time for us to to learn ourselves, to explore, to experience. When you get to your 30s, you then realize, everything that you've been doing either aids into the woman or the man that you are going to be, either aids or takes away towards the career that you've been wanting or planning for yourself. And it goes down either one of those ways. That's why it's very important to don't waste your 20s. Don't waste your 20s. Prioritize what you need to prioritize in, and make the necessary decisions when you need to, but also have fun, play, don't be too serious, because trust me, when you get to your 30s, a lot of things just start seeming very, very bland. So we're gonna start this off by me saying, you guys know my journey as of last year. I've already prepped this week, so I won't be going through everything, but I just wanted to have something to do while I talk as well, because I will be stepping out. So getting right into it, you guys know already, Uguti. I have always, I quit my job at some point last year, right? I think we all know that. Quit my job, got another job, and things haven't really been the greatest, I don't want to lie, as far as my career is concerned. Because the one part that I actually just want to focus on, without maybe going too much into detail, if you want to know my background as far as my career is concerned, please check out my previous views. But the one thing that I really just wanted to get into is the fact that, guys, nobody really tells us the truth about what it's going to be like how much it's gonna cost you to actually have a thriving career. Nobody really gets to tell us or communicates with us how it feels when you actually don't end up having the kind of career you thought you would always have. And I think, coming from experience growing up, I've always obviously seen myself as this boss babe, this girly who's gonna always who'd always have a thriving career, who would always just at some point, and guys, I just always saw myself just thriving, happy. I saw myself being the kind of person who'd be busy doing presentations, etc., etc. That's the kind of career path that I wanted for myself. I wanted to be in a marketing job, and maybe I haven't really actually expressed that, but in an environment that's not going to be too formal, but also that would give me just enough, to grow, and that would propel me and groom me to be this version of myself that I believe I am, you know. So, cut a long story short, as you could see, I did a marketing degree. Of course, that didn't you know, land me the kind of job that I wanted. My first job, I think I was a sales student advisor slash marketing assistant, which is completely nothing related much to marketing, because when you think marketing, you think campaigns, you think advertising, a bit like you think brands, you know, putting brands out there and all that stuff. But Sana, it was not anything like that. It was obviously at an educational institution. And so I ended up also getting similar jobs, because one thing that we definitely know is that our experience then sets as a, what do I call it, as a stepping stone to the kind of job you will most likely have even in the future. So that's why I say, you know, I'm realizing now that, you know, people who took gap years back in high school or after high school, we'd always be like, gap year, what are you doing? Why are they taking a gap year? They're wasting time. And this is, trust me guys, I am realizing now that actually they were onto something. They are the real MVPs. They were onto something, because maybe if some of us had waited, we would actually study things that we really, really wanted to study. We would actually even end up in careers that we actually really wanted to study. But then with that said, again, in Cyril's economy, my darling, that doesn't even count anymore, because we don't get the jobs that we studied for anyway. So that doesn't even count. But the grief that comes with that, you know, having to be in a position where you're building, you're constantly building, you're constantly wanting to grow, to become this ideal image, or this person that you've always thought that you would be, you know, only to find out, you know, Sanalam, it's actually not gonna happen the way that you think it's gonna happen. And I think that was my greatest disappointment. We speak of how am I gonna put it? Like, we speak of being successful and you know, as if in Telu, like, that thing is not easy. That thing is not easy. Also, I think I've come to realize that actually, you know what, success varies to a lot of people. Success is to me what it might not be to you. And that's okay. That is fair. Because I have my reasons, or I have my own understanding, and I have my own beliefs that, you know, you like my upbringing, for example, my background is what's going to dictate what success also looks like for me. So hey guys, muntu gets into a career, gets the job that they think, you know, is gonna, you know, and I'm one person who wants to grow. Like, I hate being stagnant, Sana. I do not like being stagnant, so I will always strive for growth. Anyway, Nje, in anything and everything that I do, I will always strive for growth, you know. And so I just look at the efforts that I would make towards getting where I believed I should be, or where I believed I should be by now. And I just look back, and you know, it can be so depressing, guys. It can be so depressing, I don't wanna lie, because what you envision for yourself and what life deals with you, I mean, like, deals out, or the card that life dishes out for you, two different things. Now you have to try and merge the two worlds, and how honahal at all. So now, having to leave that job, getting into another job that I had to work my butt off, you know. Right now, I'm not even there anymore. I'm doing something that I absolutely love, working somewhere else, doing something else that I'm actually not gonna share due to security reasons, because you guys know that I have an ongoing case with a stalker that seems to just always feel the need to be everywhere I am. for whatever crazy psychotic reason. So for that reason, you guys will never ever see much on my work site at the moment. So, right, then that's that. And now that job, I was working at a car dealership, obviously as a stock controller. Never dealt with cars, don't know what cars are about. Okay, I have an idea, but like the details, the details were a lot. So I'm gonna flip you guys over because I just wanna use my hot comb. The details, Sanalam, that was a lot for me. Let me tell you something. I never ever thought that in my life, firstly, I'd work in that kind of environment, number one. Number two, I never ever thought that I would deal with anything like that. That job was super demanding. Super demanding. Like, it's not even funny, guys. Like, it wasn't even funny, but it stretched me so much. And I'm actually happy that I proved to myself, as much as I really wanted to grow, but the environment was not conducive for me. I'm not gonna lie. The environment was not what I wanted, and nobody really prepares you enough for some things, no matter how much you can prove or feel by your proving to your to employer, to your manager, sometimes it just doesn't seem like it's enough. There's so many dynamics also that come with different environments. There's so many there's just it gets very, very complicated, because also when you work, nobody tells you what it would take for you to be at a certain level. Nobody tells you it's okay, yeah, this is how things are, and because things are like this here, do not expect that it's just gonna be that easy. Obviously, right? But you're up for the challenge, and you're sincerely up for the challenge, and you know that you can do it. You know that you can do this. I'm gonna have to pluck my wig. Yes, I don't like this part here. It looks like I'm just wearing a helmet, but for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna go into that. I'll do that a bit later. So, all those things, guys, all those things. The toxicity that also comes with certain environments. Guys, kuning, all I can say is people go through a lot in their workplaces. And I can honestly say, Uguti, as much as I will never ever regret the decisions that I've taken, Soze, never ever, because that job stressed me so much to a point where I would just I was not coping physically, mentally. I was just not okay. I was seriously not okay, and got the next figure to a point where I needed to choose my health over that particular job. Because when you now start getting to a point where you're having panic attacks at work, I'm not the type of person who's going to keep on holding on and believing that things are going to be okay. I think there's some things that require that, but also there are just some things that you shouldn't test when you can see they're not really about to change, and you don't really have much of a control over that, yabo. And guys, we're just gonna begazal. We're just gonna be patient while we are losing ourselves in the mix, while our health is deteriorating. Because let me tell you something, if anything happens to you, your workplace will replace you instantly. In fact, tomorrow HR would have created a position, would have advertised your position. So they need to make money at the end of the day, but at your cost. You understand? So I think I said this even in one of my vlogs, the one time when I did a Life in My 30s work edition. I said, Jay, they will replace you fast, quick, in a hurry. So don't even think, they will consider, no, we've just lost this person. No. At the end of the day, they need to make money now. They need to make money. So, Jay, the grief that comes with losing the career that you thought you would have. The grief, mourning yourself as a professional, mourning yourself, or this image of yourself, whether you saw yourself as a successful CEO one day, or an executive, or a successful salesperson, or whatever. That grief is not easy, guys, because no matter what you try and no matter what you do, it's always going to be there at the back of your mind, because you plan your life in a certain way, and things don't happen in that way, and all you have to do, all you can do, is swallow the pill and just move on with your life. And I think that's just the part for me that really has just humbled me like a lot. It has really humbled me, and it has even made it easy to, like, it's not seen. The sooner I accepted it, the better it was, because now at least I was able to now continue on with my life and say, okay, I possibly might not be this anymore. So what else can I be? And thank God again for Mina, because Mina, I will always just look at the bright side and try and make the most of everything. Right now, I'm pushing amongst the many things that I'm busy doing, I'm also pushing my own business, because what that previous job showed me was that I've actually got potential, because I stayed my first job, or well, my second job rather. I stayed so much in that position trying to prove myself, hoping that they would see me. And then I got into this next position wanting to believe, no, I'm not the problem. Actually, I am a hard worker. I am not the problem. You know what I mean? And honestly speaking, the minute I realized that, after getting into a whole different industry, which is the motor industry, being a stock controller, having to inspect every single car that comes to you from trucks, those trucks that you see on the road that are like mounted on each other, those cars, that would be my daily job. So like having to see, firstly, I don't even know, child, what a car looks like inside, specifically now if you're going to tell me a VW or a Mercedes, whatever, all the delicate parts of it, like the what do you even call it, the gear, does it have all four components, all four things, is it written, you know what I mean? Like, it was very delicate, and any mess up is on my head. So it was a good challenge for me. I absolutely enjoyed it. More than anything, I really wanted to grow. I saw myself being the best stock controller. I saw myself even working at a Mercedes brand, because honey, Mercedes, hello Mercedes, you know what I mean? So Jay, I thought that far, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to switch you guys back this side as well. I just saw myself and Jay going very far, man. Very far. But yeah, we plan. God decides. That's why we should always plan. Go to our plans, be in line with what God wants for us. Sometimes I do think that maybe that job was a job that I needed in order to be where I am now, and to be able to refer to it as far as making sure that I don't sleep on my own things, and that I also just get my own things started as well. Because every time I feel like I'm lazy, even when I'm not vlogging, son, every time when I feel like I'm lazy, I'm always like, girl, you worked hard for another person's dream, okay? And then being another person, that person owns a freaking VW and has made millions, okay? So you worked hard so that that person continues to make, money. And now you're gonna be lazy and not show up for your own dreams. Sana, check yourself.
Girl, please! Girl, please!
And I would instantly just get up from my bed, and I would start doing. It's not easy, guys. It is not easy. But with that comes a lot of maturity, growth. With that comes a great need to also just take some time out and just find yourself again, which is what I feel that I also needed to do. I just needed to get to a position or a point where I find myself again. I reflect on the things that I maybe might have missed about myself, where I ask God, and I'm still asking God, it's okay, fine. What is the one thing that would be more permanent for me that you'd want me to do at this point? what is it that you are calling me to do even now? Because everybody wants to be in a successful profession. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody needs money also. I'm just glad, Uguti, with the source of income that I have right now. I'm glad Uguti, I woke up on it a long time ago, because imagine it, I would need to now have to start all over again. Yeah, well. So God always makes a way. God always makes a way. But having to now see, it's okay, things are not like how you would envision them to turn out. And that reality, because while you were going through that transition, everybody around you is flourishing. Hey, everybody around you is in good positions at work. They are happy, etc. And as they should, because just because you're going through something bad doesn't mean now to the whole world now must stop. You understand? But I needed to grieve that. I needed to adapt. I needed to teach myself to be open to listen to whatever it is, because young experience happens to you for a reason. Yeah, bo. But if ever anybody finds themselves in a position where maybe they don't know what to do next, maybe life is making them feel like, I can't just quit my job. Please don't quit your job if you don't have a plan, okay? But I would also see, because I've also seen and I've also realized every day more and more people are actually quitting. Every day more and more people are actually quitting, because people are just tired of being in toxic situations. People are just tired of being treated like they're not humans. People are just generally tired. People are tired of not being paid enough for the things that they go through, because if all of you, for example, were to comment down on my comment section and actually talk about the things you go through at work, we would all see work is not all that rosy. But while you're going through what you're going through, other people as well, they're getting jobs. And I'm so happy, because God just shows you as life is just like that. Uzokhala wena, and another person is going to be thriving. God is still blessing the other person, and it doesn't make him a bad God because now you're going through this. No, it just simply means this is your time now to understand him. This is your time to get to know him again, and to really seek his understanding and his will about your life, because it is no damn joke, you guys. It is actually no damn joke. But it's doable. Siyaphila. I've dealt with that whole corporate girly hand thingy, because even if I'm 17, it's just literally just casual way, and I'm not that girl. You guys see how I dress up when I would go to work or when I go to church. Naturally, that's the girl I am. So I'm not a casual njani sana. I too want to make corporate hand content, but that's not where I'm at, and I'm not going to lie to myself, or force situations, because even when I was still working at VW, that job did not allow me to be in heels. I needed to wear sneakers. I was literally wearing sneakers majority of the time, and it was a good learning period in my life. It was a good learning period. I'm just excited to see uNkulunkulu wenzani at this point in time, and what is he gonna keep doing? What more does he have in store? Because trust me, God will never leave me or nor forsake you as well. So it's always very important to always just go back to the drawing board and tell yourself, Oba, Modima Uteng, even though things are teka ring, but Modima Uteng. And he'll never leave us, Shem. So zege sanalam. So, and he does say that he has what? Great plans for us. Great plans. So I don't know if there's anyone who's ever gone through this or might be going through it. But Sinje, yeah. Life is what it is, and grief also does happen even in a professional space. Mourning also happens in a professional space, but I think sometimes we just really need to let go of the versions of ourselves that no longer serve our purpose and no longer serve what God is trying to do through us, with us, for the sake of, the bigger plan. So, like I said, it has not been easy, but it was worth it. And I just wanted to come on here and say, yeah, that's part of, my reflections of being in my 30s. And I'm still very fresh in my 30s, but it's already like, whoa, stop the lorry. It's already like, hey, whoa, and you know what? Nobody said that it was ever going to be like this. Nobody. Okay. And yeah, everybody's just working to get a qualification, to get a job, and then you get this variety, and then then you get the kids, then you go, hi, go, guys, let me tell you something. It doesn't always work out like that for everyone, and everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own lane, everybody's on their own pace. The worst thing you could ever do to yourself is depress yourself, frustrate yourself by looking at your friend or your neighbor, because that's not your portion. Okay, and God will never confuse you for another person, and never will he confuse the other person for you. What's meant for you is meant for you. What's meant to be in your journey is meant to be in your journey. And I just hope what's at the end of it all, guys, even if you're not employed, even if you're maybe trying to juggle your career, you're not sure what you're doing, speak to God, ask God, be honest with yourself and pray, and make sure what's our shally pant. If there's anything, even the Bible says, find anything that your hands can do, because an idle mind, is very so idle hands are actually very problematic. So don't ungavumi, find something, guys, even if it means you have to gunda, which are next door. What I also realized about this period in my life, pride dating, you cannot have pride at this point in life. Pride, you and pride are very much worlds apart, because imagine if I had created this flamboyant, luxurious lifestyle, and then, excuse me, you know what I mean? So it's very important to be authentic and true to who you are, and to just be very authentic and true to your beliefs and because if you're gonna live a life that's forced, that's fake, it'll never sustain you, and it will always catch up with you. Because right now, I would probably be, just very frustrated, worse off than I am here. And right now, I'm just dealing with readjusting in terms of a career that I never thought I would, be struck. Having a career issue was the last thing I thought. Because I just always saw myself eventually in my own office. What's in there, but I'm not gonna lie, because as much as we grow, we evolve. That was an idea, an image, a dream that I had, but I don't think the totality or the fullness of it I had actually reached. It was probably just a prescribed way of thinking when it comes to my career, because I've always believed in women empowerment, women being in power, women being in. Oh, but Sana, even that comes with a lot, because yeah. So comment down below, let me know what you think on the topic, and let me know if you guys would want to hear more. But I think I'll do a part 2. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys also find your way around your careers, and I hope that God lights your path. As we wrap up this year, going into the next year, maybe this is the time to sit down and reevaluate and ask yourself, am I in the right path? Is this working for me? Is this what God truly wants for me? If you also thinking of getting a second source of income, do it now more than ever. Do it, because one salary is not enough to sustain us. We all know that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Bye.